Now, Casey, I want to talk to you about these lights on the castle. They look just really awesome. What challenges do you face when you're designing a new lighting package for a castle that's well over 50 years old? I mean, that can't be an easy thing. What challenges do you face in that?
It's less really about I mean, there's the physical structure, which, you know, we don't want to put too many holes in because, like you said, it's over 50 years old. But there's physically attaching all of the fiberglass snow that's up there, and then...
It's fiberglass?
Believe it or not.
It's real! You told me it was real!
It's Disney magic, yeah.
If you believe, John. So, what we decided to do, when we got everything together as far as the idea was concerned, was try to figure out how this would all attach and make it be safe. As you can see in the shots there, the biggest challenge is working in the park at night and bringing cranes and lifts and everything out in all of the traffic that happens when Disneyland is closed.
Yes. And I'm trying to rehearse the parade.
And it's 4 a.m. and freezing in October, as it turns out, when you're sitting out there trying to program everything. So the challenges are more logistical in nature, because we made the installation is fairly easy. You can see in that lower shot, there's what looks like a little hat coming down on the castle, and the majority of it is that. It's overlays that just fit over the castle.
So the castle, in theory, actually gets bigger for the holidays.
Bigger and taller, because of the finials, the ice finials that sit atop. Yeah, it grows about 7 feet.
See, you learn something new every day. Now, what do you guys learn when you're taking on a project like that?
Oh, wow.
I mean, put you on the spot. But
how to sleep during the day?
Yes, you do have to learn how to sleep during the day, that's for sure. Yeah, I think you learn more about how there's a lot of collaboration that occurs. So many departments are involved with Christmas. There's our resort enhancement, there's horticulture, and then all of the other areas in entertainment. And then, like I said, there are all these other areas of operations and everything that are doing things in the park after it closes. Right. So it takes a lot of coordination, a lot of logistical effort to make sure all of that is flowing freely.
And I know Casey was just very appreciative when I said, you know, I really want to make it look like it's snowing on the castle with the lights, so how do you do that? And I see him, and we're out there all night long, and pretty soon it started to look like it was snowing on the castle. It was really quite beautiful.
Yeah, with the amount of lighting and the amount of control and all the programming, it's actually a fairly complex show to put together.
And to add to the complexity, last year you added the tree element down on Main Street. Now, tell us a little bit about how that whole idea came to be, to take the castle element all the way down Main Street.
Okay, initially we had wanted to do a larger palette for the show. And we decided the first year to timelines, really, because the first year got turned on fairly late, that we would just do the castle. And we had always wanted to extend down Main Street, so we decided to do that in the second year. And we decided to take the hub, all the trees that are in the hub, there are 12 large trees there, and then all of the Main Street garland and the tree, and incorporate that into one show and really increase the size of the show.
Next year they're doing all of Anaheim. It's a big plan.
We've already started planning. It's quite daunting.
Well, we saw how you guys put the caps on the castle and give it a bit of, you know, plastic surgery, Southern California specialty. Do you plan to give any other structures a makeover in the future for next season?
We've talked about that. There are some ideas out there, and just like with Haunted Mansion and Small World and some of those different areas in the park that are kind of begging for a Christmas makeover, we're looking at some other things, and so I can't really talk about it, but we are looking at some things.
Well, you're all going to have to come back next season. I know it's a bummer. You have to come to Disneyland. I'm sorry to do that to you.
Bummer.
But I'll make it up to you. I have right here a couple of fun questions that I whipped up this morning, and this is for any and all of you. If you have an answer, just jump in, throw it out there. For all of the whole panel, what is your earliest Disney memory?
I have one. My very first job was with a show called Disney on Parade. Does anyone remember that? It was 1971. I don't think you really remember that show. It was an arena touring show that went all over the United States. So my very first kind of contact with Disney was in this show called Disney on Parade. It was like an ice show only it was
Without the
80 what?
Without the ice.
Without the ice, really, with 80 dancers, and they had movie theater, movie screens, and it was quite amazing. And it was the first time that I really had kind of gotten into Disney, and kind of got me excited about Disney. Toured all over the world for about 4 years, and then went away and started doing my own thing, and then came back here to Disneyland. But that was my first thing with Disney.
Your own thing, a chorus line.
My first memory was, as I'm a Southern California guy, and coming as a child, I was probably, no, I was about this tall, but I was really, my family, we were in the park, it was nighttime, and the fireworks started. Well, I was just mesmerized by the fireworks, so obviously I stopped to watch the fireworks, and I'm watching the fireworks, and then I look down, and my family is gone. So I am a lost little boy. You can imagine the terror that must have rushed through me. Actually, I thought, well, I don't know where they are, but I'm going to watch the fireworks. So I stood there the whole time and I watched the fireworks. And then at the end of the fireworks, then I got a little panicked, and there was my mom with security. I don't know what she was doing. Maybe she was in trouble, but they came and they found me. And but that's my memory of early being at Disneyland.
My first memory was when I was 7, actually. There was an ad in the paper, and Disneyland was auditioning young boys to be Tom Sawyer on Tom Sawyer's Island. And my parents and I had moved to Garden Grove, which is about 3 miles from here, in 1956. And so I grew up in the area, and my mother desperately wanted me to audition for that job. And she was a musical theater fanatic, and I refused. And then 10 years later, I wound up with a job in the Christmas parade.
It's a good place to start.
That's where I started too.
As a student musician. Yeah.
Casey, Denny, you have anything to add to that?
I grew up on the East Coast, and we went to Walt Disney World the first year that it opened. Wow. And I remember just being completely blown away. I'd never seen anything like that, and I thought, how do I do that for a living?
Right.
And I ended up here.
Yeah. I grew up in Carlsbad, North County, San Diego, so we came up a lot, and yay, Carlsbad! Cheer! And look at that. And
he's looking for a ride home if you guys are new.
And so whenever my extended family was from back east, so whenever they came, I got taken out of school to come to Disneyland. So I loved getting taken out of school. My aunts or uncles came, and my sister and I used to argue who would work here first, or who would work here, and I won. She never worked here. So.
She never worked here.
No.
Well, yet.
Yeah, I could hire her for the parade, maybe.
It's where we all seem to start.
Yes.
Now, I have one. I know this is a D23 room. I'm sure there's a few Disneyana collectors out there. Am I right? So what is the most unique Disney item you each have in your home?
I have 50,000 LEDs on my house.
Just for the holidays or all year long?
All year long, what the heck?
I have a black and white poster, commemorative poster, that was only made for the team members for Fantasmic. That has my name on it.
As a musical director?
Yes.
Because you had something to do with the music in that show, I'm assuming. Yeah. Like you wrote the whole thing.
Another song you can't.
Absolutely.
Another song you can't get out of your head. I worked on the Mulan Parade, assistant director on the Mulan Parade, and we had the Mushu Wall of Great Wall of China dragon that went down the street, and on it, Michael Curry, the person that made it, had sculpted a bunch of soldiers, and I have 3 of those soldiers framed in my stairway.
Cool. Ooh. You guys could get together and charge admission and make a fortune showing this.
I have something that nobody else has, and it's a letter that's addressed to me.
I have that.
I got one too.
It has my name on it, so it's addressed to me, and it's this really cool stationery, and it's embossed. It's really, really lovely. And it was dated 1973, and it said, "Thank you so much for applying, but we are full and there are no more jobs." 36 years later, I'm still here. I just ignored that letter that came in.
Showed up anyway, huh?